Oh, blimey. Welcome back to the shop. Good to see you again. Just a minute. I've had the delivery. So here's the scenario. Your son has a slight coming together with a deer on a country road and smashes the spoiler up on the front of his car, the whole front bumper. They're all sort of integrated things these days, aren't they? So he smashes that up and he thinks, do you know what? I can wring some more performance out of this car. So I'm going to, while it's off the road, I'm going to upgrade it. So he buys new shock absorbers, new bushes, new front end. The back end had a crack in it, so he's going to buy a new back end. The handbrake needs adjustment. We'd already done the brakes, so they don't need touching. And he's putting 4 new tyres around the whole thing. The wheels and tyres are off with a mate of his, getting sorted out. And he then says to me, Dad, these bushes are going to need pressing into the frames in the suspension. How are we going to do that? I said, well, I do have a Chinese vise, but I don't think it will cope with the kind of force that you need to push bushes into suspension. So I said, well, maybe we'll get a 20-ton press. And he says, yeah, okay, Dad, I don't want to buy that. And you think, okay, I can hear it coming. So I say, all right, we'll share the cost. We'll go 50-50. Will I ever see the money? We'll see. Anyway, in the meantime, I bought a 20-ton press. I need it for my car, which is fair enough, so half and half does make sense. My MX-5 is one of the very first ones that was imported into the country. I brought new in 1989. That's now 37 years old. So when I get round to doing it up, after I've done the house, or after the builder has done the house, more to the point, it's going to need new tyres throughout, probably a new clutch, all the fluids are going to need replacing, probably the hoses will be a bit crappy, certainly the springs, because it's sat on those springs from day one, so you know, after 37 years they're going to get a little weak and squashed. Also it's it's going to need a whole load of new bushes because they're rubber and they would have rotted. So in other words, I need the press as well. So rather than build one, because I don't have the luxury of the time to build one, I just bought one, and this is it. So here it is, the cheapest, and I do mean cheapest, 20-ton hydraulic press I could find. It came from a company called B&Q here in the UK, and I have to say, first impressions, it's well packaged, and there's a bit of steel in there, to say the least. The 2 boxes add up to nearly 50 kilos, so it's not a lightweight bit of kit. However, I bought the cheapest because basically this is not a piece of workshop kit that I would need to use very often. I hope. All right, that's interesting. It's quite thin section steel. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that's really, really thin section steel. In fact, that's 3.6 mil, so it's a 3.5 mil without the paint, I would think. Yeah, okay, let's get the rest of it unboxed. These are the instructions. Again, that's all, that's slightly better. That's 4 mil. Not a lot of care gone into the finishing, I have to say, but that's what you get with cheap stuff. There's the cut from the saw has left a burr and they've just painted over it. Yeah, same, that looks like 3 mil section. Right, the instructions in that box are pretty dismal. Just a picture of what you get. Another picture of what you get. Right, that's not so good. Don't know if that comes over particularly well, but you could see that it's not been very well painted there. And oh well, do you know, when I look at this welding, I think my welding's not too horrific. Actually, that's not true. My welding is totally horrific. Yeah, again, not been particularly well painted. Ooh, look at that. Nuts welded onto the top of it. Again, that's this 3mm section steel. Not particularly sturdy, I have to say. That'll be an handle. Bag of bolts. Springs and a couple of die plates. And in here must be the actual business end of it. A simple bottle jack. What is interesting is there are absolutely no instructions. All you've got are these two drawings, these two pictures of what the parts are. I suppose we ought to test that. Where's the handle? Well, it comes out, that's the main thing. Yep, buy that, and that should release it. That's better. Now, as you might imagine, the die plates, they're badly finished. Again, there's been no cleaning off of the from the saw cut, but they are a much more substantial piece of steel, weighing in at 14mm. Well, according to the picture, I have the right amount of hardware, so I guess it's a question of just putting it together. Ooh, very loosey-goosey. I think it probably needs to be bolted to the floor, to be honest, to get the best out of it. It's once you've assembled it, it's a little bit on the wibbly and wobbly. Do you know what? I think I'm going to do that again. I'm going to use this. So I'm going to adjust this until that's vertical. I'll secure it. That's just to stop it falling over. Let's have a look, because I wouldn't be at all surprised these are bent. Yeah, that's absolutely level. Blow me, so is that. It's my floor. This, weirdly enough, this is actually put just literally with no thought to it whatsoever, is assembled pretty bloody square. I'm impressed. Let's put the pins through. Don't like that whole assembly that much. There we go. let's crush something. Got a bit of wood here. Let's see what damage we've done. Admittedly, it's only a crappy bit of wood, but it didn't fare well, did it? Right, let's try this. This is a log destined for the log burner. Once I've mullered it, this is end-on grain, so it's going to take a lot more load. Oh. Oh. I'm just conscious if that blows up, which it might do. Oh. Where are the bits going to go? That's gone in probably 8 or 9 mil, and it's yeah, I wouldn't want to put any more load on it. How can I say, if that log blows up, it's definitely a dangerous height. So here we are. So what do we think? Well, I think these plates are okay, but could have been finished better, and I may well refinish those just to take the burrs off. This arrangement is poor. These two beams are held together with bolts, and what they should have had is a spacer between them so that it's a solid assembly. I may well turn up some spacers on the lathe for that very reason. Apart from that, that's reasonable. The other thing I really don't like is this. There is, I think, too much slop in that mechanism, and the only thing securing this trolley jack, this bottle jack in position, are the springs. If you undo a spring, that can fall out, and if that falls out on your foot, you're going to know about it. It's not connected to this beam at all, it just sits on it. First of all, if you made it this far in a video, thank you very much. I do like and appreciate. Do hit the hype button, because YouTube tells me that I need to ask that. And please like and subscribe. So this press, what do we think? Well, I think it's not bad, to be honest. Given you get what you pay for, this was £130 from B&Q here in the UK. And I have to say, I don't think I could build it for anywhere near that kind of level of, that kind of price. Having said that, if I built it, I'd make a better job. But at the end of the day, does that really matter? I think it's going to be quite a useful workshop tool. It's not too big, so that's quite useful. It doesn't occupy a huge amount of space, so it will sit over by the wall, out of the way, and hopefully we'll see how we get on with it. I think it is a useful bit of kit, and I think it's worth the money. Is it the best out there? Definitely not. Anyway, take care. See you on the next one.